Resolving Israel-Palestine conflict high on PM's agenda during visit to Egypt. IPL incentives for smallholders to switch to latex production. Hello, good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shuhaida Arifin and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today had an audience with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi at the Al-Ittihadiyah Palace in Cairo, Egypt. Datuk Seri Anwar's arrival at 12 p.m. local time was welcomed by President al-Sisi before the two went to a meeting that lasted over half an hour. It was the first meeting between the two leaders. Previously, Datuk Seri Anwar had stated that he wanted to discuss with LCC regarding the issues surrounding the Gaza conflict. He was accompanied by Malaysian Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir. Prior to the meeting, Malaysia had expressed deep appreciation for Egypt's initiatives in helping provide safe passage for Palestine humanitarian aid via the Rafah-Gaza border. The unobstructed pathway to channel humanitarian and medical aid is essential in helping Palestinians overcome the shortage of supplies following the cruel siege by the Israeli regime. The proposal of the new administration on the use of the word Allah will be tabled at the meeting of the Conference of Rulers at the end of the month. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said that the proposed new administration directive had been presented to the Malaysian National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs (MKI).
Kita telah mengadakan sesi libat urus 5 kali dan kemudian hasil libat urus itu telah pun kita bentangkan pada MKI yang dipengusikan oleh Tuanku Sultan Selangor. Saya dipahamkan agenda tentang hasil libat urus itu sebagai satu cadangan ke arah membina arahan pentadbiran baru dijadualkan akan dibentangkan kepada Masyarakat Raja-Raja yang akan bersidang di antara 25 hingga 27. Okey, itu hasil sekarang ini ya.
The Vice Engagement session involved Islamic scholars, academicians, sociologists, activists in civil and Sharia legislation, Malaysian Sharia management bodies, as well as religious harmony organizations. Section 19 of the Children's Act 2001 is still being studied and refined to allow for action to be taken towards individuals that do not report child abuse cases to authorities. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Seri Azalina Osman said the Office of Children's Commissioner OCC has also been informed so that discussions can be held to come up with a positive approach to raise awareness on the matter.
We are worried that a lot of people who are aware of abuse, sexual abuse in the school or family or the neighborhood, they're not reporting. But there is an offence under the Sexual Offences Act against children that if you know and you don't report, it's an offence. So we want to look into that section because we have to give a message that sexual offences against children, it's not just the victims are the children, but the society at large. It's a joint responsibility of everyone who is in the community to be equally responsible, not just family members.
She added that the general public must also play their respective roles and responsibilities to report any child abuse cases to uphold justice for the children. The Democratic Action Party (DAP) has never been anti-monarchy and instead upholds the constitutional monarchy system and respects the royal institution and as enshrined in the Federal Constitution. Its Secretary General Anthony Loke said the party has often been labelled anti-monarchy due to DAP's policy of not accepting titles bestowed by the royal institution. However, Loke said the DAP has never rejected such honours when its leaders retiring from politics are conferred such titles.
Dan mereka Agong dan juga Raja-Raja Melayu merupakan ketua negara dan ketua negeri masing-masing. Jadi institusi itu sangat penting Dan kita memang pertahan dan menghormati institusi tersebut. Tak pernah kita mengambil satu dasar ataupun sikap yang melawan Raja-Raja Melayu. Saya terjelaskan bahawa tidak betul kita mengatakan bahawa kita tak menerima darjah kebesaran. Cuma kita merasakan bahawa apabila seseorang pemimpin itu masih berkhidmat sebagai wakil rakyat, adalah lebih baik mereka menunggu sampai mereka bersara daripada jawatan mereka baru menerima darjah kebesaran.
He said this to reporters after officiating the 22nd Negeri Sembilan DAP convention. Coming up in our business segment, weakening ringgit not reflecting state of economy. RM21 million has been allocated for the Latex Production Incentive Pilot Project (IPL) and the Malaysian Sustainable Natural Rubber Pilot Project (MSNR) to increase the country's latex production. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said the pilot project is intended to boost the income of small rubber farmers by encouraging them to switch to the production of rubber milk instead of scrap rubber or cup lump.
Ianya akan dapat menambah pendapatan pekebun kecil kita. Kalau ikut simulasi yang kita laksanakan, mereka boleh menjana pendapatan lebih daripada 40% tambahan pendapatan. Walaupun kita mengimport, tapi dari segi pengeluaran, dari segi sarung tangan getah dan produk-produk getah, kita masih merupakan nombor 1 di dunia. Cuma pengeluaran di peringkat latex itu kita masih bergantung dengan import yang banyak. Sebab itu yang saya katakan tadi, kalau kita dapat tingkatkan pengeluaran latex dalam negara, maka import itu akan kurang. Jadi aliran duit itu akan dapat kita kurangkan untuk aliran keluar duit kita.
Datuk Seri Fadilah, who's also the Commodities Minister, said this to reporters in an event in Sungai. The participation incentive payment from RM200 per month is among the 4 incentives for rubber smallholders who switch to latex production under IPL. The total investment for Employees Provident Fund (EPF) is expected to rise to RM700 billion by the end of this year, a 9% increase compared to year 2022. According to Deputy Finance Minister Wan Datuk Seri Ahmad Maslan, EPF investments in the domestic market totaled RM665 billion as of June 2023. EPF investments are guided by the fund allocations determined annually by its investment panel. Datuk Seri Ahmad said for the 2018 to 2022 period, the EPF allocated an average of more than 80% of its annual fund for investments in the domestic market. He added that in 2023, RM97 billion or 83% of its total annual fund has been allocated.
Bagi memastikan KWSP dapat mengoptimumkan pelaburannya dengan mampan, panel pelaburan KWSP sentiasa berpandukan alokasi aset strategik SAA yang mengalokasikan aset pelaburan KWSP dalam pelbagai kelas aset, geografi, mandat dan strategi selaras dengan objektif pelaburan KWSP sebagai sebuah dana persaraan.
Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Ahmad informed that the government is finalising details on the withdrawal access for the proposed Employees Provident Fund (EPF) flexible account. He said there will be no withdrawal access from EPF accounts like previously. During the Budget 2024 tabling recently, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that the accounts of EPF members will be restructured to strengthen retirement savings. Towards this end, the flexible account, a new EPF account to allow accessibility to members at any time, will be introduced.
Mulai tahun depan, Tan Sri Yang Pertua telah diumumkan dalam Belanjawan 2024, kita akan membuka satu lagi akaun untuk pencarum KWSP. Sekarang ini ada akaun 1 dan akaun 2. Apa yang diumumkan oleh Perdana Menteri, Menteri Kewangan, diumumkan akaun fleksibel. Kita akan mengumumkan tentang apa maksud akaun fleksibel ini. Yang akaun ketiga yang boleh diakses oleh semua ahli Lepas ini mulai tahun depan akaun fleksibel. Bagaimana kaedahnya, berapa persen daripada simpanan itu boleh masuk dalam akaun fleksibel itu semua belum lagi diputuskan, tapi tujuannya adalah untuk membantu pengeluaran ketika kecemasan.
The weakening ringgit compared to the US dollar currently is due to external factors and does not reflect on the national economy. Governor Dato' Abdul Rashid Abdul Ghafur said with economic growth momentum, stable decline of inflation levels and firm banking systems, the movement of ringgit value has been vastly attributed to the global situation.
Almost all currency in the world depreciated against the US dollar, especially emerging market, including Malaysia. But what I want to highlight is that although we have touched the AFC level, we are not in a crisis. It's different from what we had experienced in the past during the AFC.
He added that the Department of Statistics Malaysia has predicted that the gross domestic product in the third quarter will grow 3.3%, which is an increase from 2.9% recorded in the previous quarter. Bank Negara Malaysia BNM will do whatever is necessary to ensure the ringgit continues to adjust in an orderly manner, which allows businesses to be facilitated as well. He said this at the launch of the JC3 Journey to Zero 2023 officiation in the Federal Capital. Meanwhile, Dato' Abdul Rashid said BNM expects at least half of new financing by banks to be aligned with climate supporting or energy transitioning activities as set in the Malaysia Financial Sector Blueprint FSB 2022-2026. He said that at the same time, the central bank will also continue to provide a facilitative policy environment for the industry to advance financial innovations and explore novel financial structures needed to meet the significant financing needs for climate risk mitigation and adaptation. He said BNM has also begun undertaking a comprehensive review of its regulations to ensure climate risk is appropriately accounted for and well integrated into its regulatory framework. Dato' Abdul Rashid said this is to ensure that the industry remains climate resilient while being able to effectively support the economy's transition. He also acknowledged that any adjustments to prudential standards would need to be carefully consider necessary safeguards to ensure the attendant risks continue to be adequately managed. Dato' Abdul Rashid said BNM is also working to develop guidance on transition plans to promote alignment between financial institutions' business and risk strategies, their public commitments to climate goals and national plans while safeguarding against the risk of greenwashing. Malaysian Investment Development Authority announced that Perak has garnered over 22.3 billion ringgit in realised investments as at June and this year from a total of 283 manufacturing projects, creating more than 22,000 jobs. As such, Maida said, Perak is poised to enhance Malaysia's electrical and electronics E&E sector, particularly in the northern region, with the upcoming high-tech industrial hub in Krian, as projected by the government in Budget 2024. Maida said the state government also aims to attract more investors into the halal sector, not only in the halal food sector, but also in cosmetic and other sectors. Meanwhile, in his keynote speech at the Maida Invest Series Perak, unfolding its business potentials event today, Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Sakrani Muhammad said the state government is committed to encouraging investments into the state as it is willing and able to consider reasonable incentives or remove obstacles to facilitate investors. He stated that the recent investment promotion mission to Shanghai, Hangzhou, Nanning and Guangzhou in China from 15 to 21st October was successful in attracting potential investments into the state. Among others, he said Invest Perak has signed a memorandum of understanding with Xizang Sinopoint Technology, a China investment company for the encapsulation film with an investment of 2 billion ringgit. This involved the setting up of new facilities in Ipoh to be the first Xizang manufacturing in Southeast Asia. The Securities Commission Malaysia SC is working on the next iteration of the Sustainable and Responsible Investment Taxonomy, SRI taxonomy, released in December last year. Chairman Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adik Hussein said the move would provide greater guidance to the industry. SRI taxonomy provides common guiding principles on the classification of economic activities to support sustainable investments. As sustainable investments continue to grow, Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adik said a more systemic classification system is also needed to facilitate comparability and alignment with environmental, social and sustainability goals. In his speech during the Joint Committee on Climate Change JC3 Journey to Zero Conference 2023, Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adik said as the global climate change mitigation pledges fall well short of achieving anything significant, the world needs to start turning commitments into actions to achieve an outcome. At home, he said it is encouraging to see the government adopting a whole-of-nation approach to address the impact of climate change on economic sustainability via roadmaps and master plans. To support the nation's priorities, he said the financial sector should also be ready to facilitate the country in an effort to achieve its sustainability and climate goals. Coming up in our foreign segment, more than 400 Palestinians killed by Israel in Gaza in 24 hours. A Pakistan court has indicted Imran Khan for leaking state secrets. According to reports, the charge adds to the huge volume of legal turmoil that the former Prime Minister has met since his removal in April 2022. Imran's former deputy Shah Mahmud Qureshi has also been indicted in the state secrets case. A spokesperson for Imran's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI party said the men were charged under the Colonial Era Official Secrets Act in a closed-door trial, adding the rule would be challenged. Imran, who led Pakistan from August 2018 to April 2022, is charged with leaking a diplomatic letter between Washington and Islamabad that he says points to the role of the United States in forcing him out of office. Imran, a former cricket star turned politician, was deposed by a no-confidence vote in Parliament in April 2022 over accusations of economic mismanagement. His downfall came after he fell out with the country's powerful military establishment and tried to dissolve parliament, an act the country's Supreme Court ruled was unconstitutional. He has since faced a slew of criminal charges in cases ranging from terrorism to contempt of court to blasphemy. More than 400 Palestinians were killed on Sunday as a result of intensified Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip. According to medical sources, most of those killed were women and children. The attacks were concentrated in Jabalia and Beit Lahia in the north, the Al Gusta and Al Rimal neighborhoods, and Al Shati refugee camp in the west, and Khan Yunis and Rafah in the south of the Gaza Strip. According to the sources, the number of women, children and elderly killed on Sunday accounted for 70% of the death toll. Multiple Israeli attacks were reported near Al-Shifa Medical Complex in central Gaza and near Al-Quds Hospital in the Tel Al-Hawa neighborhood west of Gaza, which was targeted for the second time. Palestinian news agency Wafa said the occupation aircraft conducted at least 25 massacres on Sunday by directly targeting homes without prior evacuation warnings. Warplanes and artillery forces stationed near the eastern border of the Gaza Strip also participated simultaneously in the intensified attack. While medical and civil defense teams have recovered hundreds of dead and wounded, they are still working to recover hundreds more victims who are still under the rubble of demolished homes. Spain has seized gold artifacts valued at 60 million euros or $63.6 million stolen from Ukraine after thieves were caught trying to sell them in Madrid. Spanish police in a statement today said the 11 pieces from the Sintians culture, which were exhibited in a Kiev museum between 2009 and 2013, were smuggled out of Ukraine in 2016. 3 Spaniards and 2 Ukrainians were arrested following an investigation that began when one of the pieces, a gold belt with ram's head, was sold in 2021 in Madrid. Police then discovered the suspects had other pieces they were attempting to sell. The pieces had forged documents to make it look like as if they belonged to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Police said ownership of the pieces was then transferred to a Ukrainian Orthodox priest based in Madrid. Police added that the pieces are now being studied at the Spanish National Archaeological Museum and the Institute of Cultural Heritage of Spain. Coming up in sports, Nur Shaiful smashes Asian Para Games record to bag 100-meter breaststrokes gold. National men's doubles pair in Siaso Wuyik finally won their first World Tour title with a victory over Indonesians Muhammad Shohibul Fikri Bagas Maulana in the final match of the 2023 Denmark Open in Odense last night. Playing in Ikuti Bank Arena, the 5th seeded 2022 world champions were in a class of their own as they strolled through the match, winning 21-13, 21-17 in 33 minutes. In contrast to their nervous opponents, Aaron Wuyik played with maturity born of their hard-earned experience as Malaysia's #1 men's doubles pair, controlling the court well in the first set and building a 5-point lead at 11-6 before finishing off their rivals with a difference of 8 points. The Indonesians tried to mount a comeback in the second set, but Aaron Wuyik continued to dominate and kept them at bay with their high-quality gameplay, with Aaron sealing their well-deserved victory with a strong smash. The Denmark Open, a World Tour Super 750 Championship, is Aaron Wuyik's first World Tour title after 6 finals, including 3 this season, with the last being the China Open in September. Meanwhile, national men's single player Lee Zija ended his Denmark Open 2023 campaign on a low note when he lost the final match to China's Wang Hongyang. World 11th ranked Zija was unable to repeat his performance when he won the Arctic Open in Finland last month and was clearly not at his best, fizzling out and losing 12-21, 6-21 in 33 minutes. Hongyang's win means that the world number 22 has now beat Zija 3 times out of 4 encounters. Even with the loss, Zija takes home a total of $28,900 in prize money as runner-up. Now, the national contingent did not have to wait long before claiming its first gold medal at the Hangzhou Asian Para Games after swimmer Muhammad Nur Shaiful Zulkifli emerged victorious in the men's 100-meter breaststroke SB4 physical impairment event today. Nur Shaiful was first to the wall in a new games record time of 1 minute and 46.78 seconds. However, an elated Shaiful, who fell short in the same event during the 2018 Indonesia edition, is hungry for more.
Saya tak expect nak dapatkan gol tu sebab event tu agak susah lah untuk saya bertanding sebab selalu DQ lah game tu. Awak cakap memang susah. Tapi dah tengok lawan pun China, tak sangka boleh PB berekod lagi. Saya pun tak sangka benda tu. Alhamdulillah.
China's Yin Wenhong, who registered a time of 1 minute 53.29 seconds, came in second, while Li Zike, who registered a time of 2 minutes 11.80 seconds, completed a 1-3 finish for Malaysia in the event. National Wushu Queen Tan Cheong Min continues to make Malaysia proud after winning the gold medal in the women's Nan Kuan and Nan Dao combination events at the 2023 World Combat Games at King Saud University in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Xiangmin, the 2019 world champion, fresh from winning a silver medal in the event at the just concluded 2022 Hangzhou Asian Game last month, topped the competition after collecting a total of 19.486 points. The silver medal went to Uzbek athlete Daria Latisheva with 19.292 points, while the bronze went to Iranian athlete Hani Rajabi with 18.950 points. Meanwhile, Malaysia also won bronze in the women's Jiangsu and Kiangshu combination events through Pang Puyi, who collected a total of 19.392 points in the final competition. The 2023 World Combat Games from 20th to 30th October features a total of 16 combat sports including Aikido, fencing, judo, karate, Muay Thai, sumo and taekwondo.
Without enough qualified social workers, people with disabilities who are already marginalized might become more vulnerable to other social issues.
minit tanpa henti, 76 minutes non-stop. Transparent and concise. Paparan komprehensif, ringkas dan padat. Saksikan Kanta 744, 7.44 malam. Berita perdana 8 malam. Malaysia Tonight, 8:30 PM.
Alright, so that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, resolving Israel-Palestine conflict high on Dato' Sri Anwar's agenda during visit to Egypt. A rally to express solidarity with the Palestinians will be held in Bukit Jalil at 6:30 PM tomorrow. Malaysians from all walks of life are invited to participate in the Axiata Arena, and participants are also encouraged to dress in white. Till then, I'm Syuhaida Arifin, Malaysia Madani, tekad perpaduan penuhi harapan. Thank you for watching.